Rob, we are going to get into Kevin Durant. We talked about him yesterday when he came out and said basketball in the 80s and 90s was no more physical than it is today, kind of, sort of, because he admitted that they were hacking each other, hitting each other hard in what would be called flagrant fouls today. And there were just regular play or fouls back then. But anyway, Durant spoke with FoxSports.com and had some interesting comments about many things. But here's one about people thinking he's sensitive. Rob G, read this quote to us.
Yeah, it sounded like he was directing it at our very own Rob Parker.
Who, me?
You decide.
Ooh.
Here's the quote. I don't see this talked about. I see Damian Lillard. I see LeBron. I see Draymond. I see lots of great players in our league speak up on social media, but they don't get that sensitive rep. I've seen it. It's not just a me thing. There are a lot of players amongst a lot of sports that interact with their people on Twitter, Instagram, socials, and I don't hear the sensitive rep about them.
What? Just because I called him the Masot, the most sensitive of all time? He is sensitive because he's going back at guys in their grandmother's basement on the Twitter machine. Like if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm not bothering with other people. So what? You have an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. You know what? Opinions are like bee polls. Everybody has one. So what? He is sensitive. He's always bothered by what people are saying, and I think he's, for a guy who's accomplished and has done as much, I could see you being a little sensitive if maybe, you haven't gotten there, or you haven't gotten to your potential, or there's an angst to it. But this dude he's a made man. He's a made man.
Why does responding to people make you sensitive?
Because I just think in his case, with all that he's done, I don't think anything that anybody could say on Twitter could alter your NBA career or your what you've done. That's the part I don't get.
Yeah, and I've said this for a while now, Rob, and you'll attest to this, I'm sure. I don't think he's sensitive. I think if he was sensitive, it would affect his play. It would affect his demeanor. He told me we've text DM, whatever.
No, you said you didn't text.
Yeah, DM.
Remember that.
Right.
Don't
He
get it
DM'd
wrong.
me that. I asked him. I said, "Why do you go back at just random people?" And he said, "I just like doing it. It's fun to me, and I got the time." That's what he DM'd me. It's a long conversation on DMs, but he was like, I just like doing it and I have the time. So what's wrong with it? And I, you know what, right? It's true. Now, I will say this, what is evidence for your viewpoint on him is the burner account, right? That's weak. If you want to say something, just say it and put your name on it, right? And you're not giving away like team secrets, like a source, right? An anonymous source. They telling team secrets, league secrets, trades from other teams, things like that. That's different. You just making comments like we doing now. That's what I would criticize him for that. Because that's just
So why do you think he's hiding behind that? Why do you think he's hiding behind that? Because he doesn't want people to push back on him.
I wouldn't. Well, no, but he also does the stuff on his own. Like what he does is he pushes back. That's what he does, right? If you say something about Kevin Durant or write something about Kevin Durant that he doesn't like or doesn't think is fair, he's going to push back. That's it. That's what he does. To me, that doesn't make you sensitive.
Yes, it does. To me,
how you do it?
But that doesn't mean, I'm telling you, I still think that he's sensitive from the standpoint of where he is in his career and accomplishments.
What's that got to do with
what? So what? If a 15,
what's that got to
so
do
what
with
if a 15-year-old in his grandmother's basement says you're not a great player? So what? What do you have to answer to that guy?
Crying because
what do you have to answer to that guy for? That's what I'm talking. That's sensitive. Well, there's a lot of things that people say That's something you can let go. There's things that you can push back on, but not everything to sit
Well,
around.
Rob, he
You don't
doesn't
have anything else
answer
to
to
do. I
everything.
don't say that. Of course not. I don't know what his Twitter thing looks like or how many people say stuff, but it's weird to me. I just don't see other players doing that or wasting their time.
Well,
on that.
Damian Lillard will go back at somebody. And he mentioned that. Draymond Green will go back at people. I think Kevin Durant doesn't discriminate. He doesn't say, oh, just because you have to be like national media. You have to be accredited media for me to go back at you. He like, whoever you are. If I feel like it, I'm a respond. I mean, that's what he does. And like I said, and Rob, you notice, like, the guys that come to New York, and I'm not saying this as a weakness, but some guys come to play in New York, especially back in the day, Rob, and they don't read the back page. They don't read the tabloids because it would mess with them because they might be sensitive. Kevin Durant's the opposite. He's like, oh, I'm reading the back page. I'm reading your whole story, and when you show up in practice, I'm going to ask you why you wrote that.
Okay.
That's not sensitive. That's,
okay. And
Draymond
Draymond Green calls you the B word, and you hightail it out of town.
Well, he might
Is
not
that
be
sensitive?
tough. He might not be able to fight. I don't know.
That might
but
be
I'm just
sensitive
saying.
too. He allowed Draymond Green to do that.
That's another story.
And he put his tail between his legs and said, "Oh, I'm getting out of here. I'm leaving," because he called me the B word on the court. Oh, I can't do. That's sensitive.
I don't know.
I don't care,
I don't know
Draymond.
that's why he left. He might have left. Who knows? We don't know.
Okay.
I mean, did he want to? Kyrie's one of his best friends. Did he want to win a championship?
I'm not
outside
sure
of Golden State?
if
I don't know.
if Draymond didn't say that he would have left. I'm not convinced.
You know,
of that.
I'm not either. I don't know. I mean, look. We talked about it with the Timberwolves. You right in that somebody's calling you that, going off on you like that. The B word. Even Draymond said it. Not thinking about what he said to Durant.
Right.
You know, and now, but that might be, and I don't want to, I don't know. Kevin Durant might be real tough. He might be able to throw down. Who knows? He wouldn't have looked at Tommy Hearns and thought he could throw down. So Kevin Durant might be, I don't know, or maybe, Rob, maybe he was scared. Or maybe he knows Draymond would take him out. Or maybe he's like, man, we on the sidelines, this is my teammate. I'm not about to fight a teammate. Who knows? But I really don't think he says, I think he's responding. He's a part of the social media generation, and he likes responding to what is said about him. He's basically like, keep my name out your mouth. and if you say something, I'm testing you. At least I'm going to say, why'd you say it? One thing he said to me in DMs is that he doesn't like when people like psychoanalyzing and act like they know what he's thinking. Act like they know what he's saying. Now, we can do it all we want, but he don't like that. And so I really, Rob, like I said, to me, if he was ultra sensitive, he would... I think it might affect his game, or he might avoid reading the stuff, which I think some players should do. Remember when LeBron, after the Dallas series in 2011, he went on for several years. I don't think he does it anymore, but for several years, he was like, what do you call it? 0 dark 30 or whatever it was, where he just got off social media, didn't watch TV, the sports shows, because I guess it would get in his head. Kevin Durant, it doesn't get in his head.
Yeah,
and some people deal with that too, Rob.
I think everybody's different, and I think there is a degree of him that cares about what people think, and some people don't. And I think he is sensitive from the standpoint. You just would wonder. I don't know. I don't know why you would be so bothered by it. To me, it seems like he's bothered by it. So what? You're right. No one, if you're worried about somebody psychoanalyzing you who's never met you, why would their opinion matter? Like they
Because
don't know you.
Their opinion is being
No, it's
told
not. It's
to millions of
No,
people.
it's not. You're talking about
When you or I or,
no,
or,
but
or
you're
other
talking
people
about
in our position
you're talking
say
about
it is.
Joe Blow in the basement says somebody's saying something about you. You're worried about his Twitter account that has 40 people.
Well,
that's
don't
what
know
I'm
if-
asking you.
Well, that
Makes
again,
no sense to me.
to you. But to him, he's
Right,
just
that's
responding
my
to a fan.
right to me.
But
just
you're
like I'm
acting
saying,
like
to me, I gotta go what from my standpoint. I don't know what his standpoint. From me,
Well, you're
he
saying
comes
he's
off as sensitive. That's what it
that's
comes like
different.
from me.
He comes off as sensitive.
That's it.
Then he is sensitive. Those are
Okay.
two different things.
I mean, I
You
don't know
think
him.
he's sensitive.
I think
Right.
he's sensitive. That's the only thing. You don't know him like that either, other than what he told you, right? Do you?
Right.
Know? Right.
But
That's
what
all
I'm
you
saying,
can go
I'm
on.
going by what I see. And I don't see a sensitive
Okay,
guy.
I see him as sensitive.
a guy that gives pushback.
I see him as
a
sensitive.
guy that if you
he didn't
say
push
something
back
about
Draymond
him,
Green. I'll tell you that.
That's fine. That would have been physical. It don't mean you're gonna push back physically. We're talking about
That's
words.
not physical.
And it could. He wasn't just sitting there. He's saying stuff too. They got in an argument. It takes two people to argue.
And then he took his ball and went home, right? And then
Well,
he was
several
just
months later,
out of town. Well, he couldn't leave that
that's
day.
That's just flat out wrong.
Couldn't
You're
leave his
flat out
day.
wrong.
Couldn't leave
'Cause
that day.
If he would have took it, no, because he didn't take his ball and go home. He played the rest of the season, and then on a bad leg, he went out for that same team, including Draymond Green.
He's under
and tried to play in
contract.
the
What do you
finals.
mean for
In the
Draymond?
contract,
For
he didn't have
Draymond
to
Green,
play?
he was under contract. He didn't play for Draymond.
Rob, you're being wrong right now.
He didn't play for Draymond. You said he played for Draymond.
But you said.
But he didn't play for Draymond. He's under contract to play.
He was hurt. You're not under contract to play when
Did he
you're hurt.
play for Draymond or did he play for the Warriors?
Well, he didn't. But you said he left. You said he took his ball and went home.
As soon as he was available. As soon as he was available to bounce, he bounced. That's my point.
Okay. You said he took his ball and went home because of how he left the Warriors. Not how he left Draymond. You took him leaving the entire franchise as based on what happened with Draymond. And I'm saying he didn't take his ball and go home. If you're going to equate the whole franchise with Draymond on that point, then I'm going to equate the whole franchise with Draymond on this point. And him going out and trying to play in the finals on a bad leg when you and I, not doctors, knew he shouldn't have been playing. That's not taking your ball and going home.